an open meeting at 5 o'clock. We're gonna open a public hearing on funding through the Grafton County American Rescue Fund, okay? What happened was, the Grafton County had some money that they offered to towns that they had left over. And we applied for the maximum amount of $40,000, and we're gonna put that towards the salt and sand shed that we have. We already have the money put away for it, but it will just help to pay the cost of it a little bit. And, any public comments on that? We'll wait a minute.
You should probably announce that Cheryl's,
And Cheryl's gonna be on Zoom. She has COVID.
I'm here. Good evening.
Oh, you sound terrible.
There we got a little shock.
can you see us? Is the video on now?
Yeah, I can see you folks.
Did you have comments? Or you're just waiting to show?
I was waiting to show.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
She may-
Kristen.
How you feeling?
You don't sound good.
No,
All right, there's no public comments. We're gonna close the hearing at 5:02. And we're going to vote to accept the grant.
I'll make a motion to accept the.
Unanticipated revenue.
Unanticipated revenue. I'll second that. All in favor?
Alright,
I
So that's closed. Now we're gonna open the public hearing. For the Clark Farm road improvements. What this is to be able to, for the ice castle to be able to pay for the improvements of Clark Farm Road. We have to take it in as unanticipated revenue because we can't take it out of trust funds. So it's just kind of a legal way to do it that we were instructed from the lawyer, this is how to do it. So basically, whatever these bids turn out to be, we're going to pay for the entire amount. But it's our under our supervision in our process, so. That's kind of what this is, so comments on that one? It's kind of a runaround way to do it, but. Anybody?
I don't see any hands.
No hands, okay. Let's close that hearing then at 5:03. And we'll take a vote that we're gonna accept the unanticipated revenue on whatever it is.
You can't vote.
Oh, yeah, we
You can do
can't,
a
yeah.
selectmen's meeting, and then you can vote,
Well, because we don't know what it is, yet. We're gonna open that, okay,
but you can't vote on the last one either, you're just gonna vote to accept it once you get in there.
okay. So we're gonna close the public hearing on that, though. Okay, 5:02. All right, now we're going to call the select board meeting to order at 5:04. And we're gonna vote to approve and sign the minutes of July 25th.
Before you do that, Scott, why don't you vote to accept the funds, the unanticipated revenue from your two,
But we don't know how much it is.
well, you're not going to know until it's done, that's why she said, because you have advertising, engineering.
Okay, all right,
You could say up to, but you're not gonna have an exact amount until it's done. So you're just gonna accept unanticipated revenue for this project.
all right, we're gonna.
In the full
A
amount.
motion to accept the amount in full amount for the.
I'll make that.
Okay, all right, I'll second it. All in favor?
Alright,
Grafton County money.
Grafton County money, okay. So. All right, now we want to approve and sign the minutes from
No.
July 5th.
You wanna make the motion to, you just accepted the.
Y'all did that here all the time.
You accepted the money from the Clark Farm Road.
Yes.
Now I need a
I
motion.
already did that
And
before,
not in
we
a
did it
second.
twice.
Not necessarily.
Carol never had this much issue.
I know. Anyway, let's have a vote to take the unanticipated funds for the Clark Farm Road Fund. What?
But crap,
Howdy, we already did this.
you did it in.
Oh, all right,
public
all right,
hearing.
in a public hearing, all right, now, we want to accept it in the selectmen's meeting, that we're gonna take the unanticipated funds from Grafton County.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, now you can take your minutes. Go ahead.
All in favor?
I
All right, open the bids for, I'm not a practice for this. Open bids.
Well,
for-
no, we need to approve and sign the minutes.
Approve and sign the minutes of the July 25th meeting.
I'll
Okay.
make a motion to
Any
accept the
additions
minutes.
or- You're also gonna make that motion? Okay, thank you.
Cheryl.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good.
I-
Now you've got me going in the wrong direction here.
Cheryl can sign in the office, you two can sign now.
All right, thank you. Sounds like we're all eating gummies or something. So we're gonna open the bids now on the Clark Farm Road project.
You received two.
But I think with all the public interest in this, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna look at them briefly. We're gonna scan them to the town engineer. And he's gonna comment on them we'll have a workshop this week or early next week.
Okay.
That sounds reasonable.
Is that some reasonable, Cheryl? Do you see Cheryl? How about I turn it so you can really see our?
We're not engineers.
Right. Right, no, I was gonna recommend that too, that once we open them, that drew the history on that road, that we should really have Steve take our engineer, or someone from his office, take a look at them.
So the first one,
One. So, this is from. No. It's a big package.
it's probably multiple copies, maybe. You're looking for the.
That's the bond, that's your bond. This is, oh, this is Polly's, okay.
This is the documents that we send.
Yeah. This is contracts that he has. Patient. It's pretty specific. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know if Steve has to look at it, if they read all these qualifications. That's what they're doing with this document, but that's, you know what I'm saying, so I don't know. I mean, the contract is pretty.
$141,900.
How much?
That one,
$141,000.
Oh, okay.
$141,000.
I guess 100.
So that's $141,900,
Throw a rock,
I believe.
And
somebody can throw a rock from one end to the other with.
And
I know,
did you get that?
but I think too, you know, the more I think about this contract's so specific. I don't know, Steve has to look at it, you know what I'm saying? What, do we have the other bid here?
Yeah, so 140, what was it again for Kathy? 141.
No.
141, and I'll get it for you. This one.
Well, I'm not sure we'd have to wait because, I mean, basically. there's nothing Steve is gonna look at because the contract is so specific, you know what I'm saying? I don't-
There's a way above me, I don't know.
I mean, it's a 30-page contract. GMI is 228,000.
That's about $100,000 difference. 60.
I don't know if we read the one.
$80,000 difference. What would that be?
I don't know what it can be because everything is spelled out exactly.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything's itemized.
Everything's itemized. I mean, I don't know.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. Wanna look at this.
What's that?
Is it worth taking
Well-
the time just to look at it, even if it's overnight, and sending it to Steve real quick, just to make sure we're apples to apples?
We have
I
someone
think-
here, this might be a representative from one of them, I'm not
It's
sure.
very specific. I mean,
Scott, do you wanna allow, see who Bob
oh,
wants?
sure.
I'm not sure.
$140,900 for
Bob, can you hear us? Bob,
GMI's bid. The only thing I'm saying, everything is spelled out to the letter in these bids, you know.
Yeah, and Michelle's right, that you need to compare both contracts to make sure that every.
But they're
itemized,
both contracts are the same, and they are the same itemized.
but they're not the
bills.
same cost, they're not the same bid.
Right.
GMI was what? 200 and
200, it's about $100,000 difference.
Bob,
I'm fine doing it what we talked about, but I mean,
well, hold on a second.
it's
I
pretty
just don't
clear.
know.
I mean, as I look at this contract, it's like a 40-page description of what has to be done, and everything is itemized that has to be done. As Steve is here to follow up on the work and make sure it's done the way it should be, I don't know. But,
no, I wouldn't award anything tonight, we're not.
We don't have
that
to.
tonight.
It looks like Bob's
Yeah,
hand
yeah.
is up.
I
Can
know,
you,
I'm
can you
trying to-
maybe, if you go under participants, if you
Yeah.
select participants, and then, if you click on the 3 dots and say, ask to unmute, you should
I
be
did.
able to unmute him. There might be something up with his microphone then that isn't maybe allowing him to speak.
I mean, the biggest difference is the cost of the asphalt, just on that, looking at it quickly.
Bob, can you hear us?
Probably not.
Maybe I can chat with him and see if I can get him to.
All right, well, if that's what we're gonna,
Oh,
we can send along to Steve, I don't see a lot of reason to, after I relook at this, it's pretty, I don't know how you could done. We didn't leave much loophole.
I think it doesn't hurt where it's such a big contract to just
For a
take
couple
it,
days.
absorb it overnight, have him peek at it real quick, and then we can award it, certainly this week, so that folks that are
Okay,
prepared to start next week can start next week.
because it's pretty, like I say, everything's pretty specific, and every part of the project's got a price tag next to it. You know, and a description of the work on how it should be done and what the specs are, so it seems pretty specific, but we can do that.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right, we're gonna table that and do it at the next meeting. In a minute here. Okay,
Do you want to just check and make sure the new person that signed on isn't the Bob that was trying to talk?
I'm happy to,
Um,
Bob, are you there?
I think
Let's,
I lost him. I
we'll
didn't kick
we'll
him out.
continue with that.
Well, that's- Okay, so we're sending that, you want to,
Well, it's added to Steve, haven't looked at it, but I think it's.
Okay.
But let him make the call on that.
Yeah, we can avoid the contractor. Doesn't have to be, doesn't have to be
We're gonna have a workshop.
we can do a workshop, we don't need to be in a public hearing for it.
no, you just have to be able, you have to post a meeting, a workshop,
That's right.
or a vote,
Has to
it
be a
has to be a
public meeting.
vote.
Has to be a public meeting. Okay. Conservation Commission, Merriam Woods.
You have to, you're missing one.
No, we're
That is
jumping
right.
something. We need to approve and sign the clock farm agreement. But we need
Okay.
to table that. We need to table that until we make our
We do.
decision.
Right, exactly.
Well, this isn't, no, you, not necessarily, this is an agreement that they're gonna cover all the costs. What you wouldn't do is allow the work to happen until you guys sign this and forward it on to them. Is what this is
Why don't we
for.
just keep it clean and easy and do them both in the same workshop?
Okay, as long as you know that Naomi says this cannot, until the Ice Castle signs it, it's not executed. Do you want me to send that to them prior to you signing it?
Sure.
Moving
Sure,
it? I didn't
sure.
send it to them because you hadn't okayed
Yep.
it yet.
I think
No,
I've read through it and I gave you
Mhm.
my couple of changes, so I think we're safe to send it off to them and then we'll sign
Okay.
it. I think it's better to have them sign it first anyways, prior to us.
Okay,
And I basically gave him a heads up about that it's
Right.
gonna happen, so
I just didn't want to hold up the, okay, I'll send it to them tomorrow.
I don't think they're gonna be right on it, if they wanna get it done, I think, so.
Great.
Do I have permission to move on?
As long as you.
Okay, Conservation Commission, Merriam Woods.
No, oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry,
Thank you.
I was gonna move
Oh,
on.
habits behind great.
I know, yes.
God, I hated to check that out.
Okay,
So Kristen DeRocha, the Chair of the Conservation Commission, as you all know, Merriam Woods has been a topic of interest with the town for over a year now. We are moving forward to develop a management plan with lots of pieces involved in that. We had a forester from the UNH Cooperative Extension come out and do a evaluation of the forest. I believe, do you have a copy of that report?
Yep, so do that, yep.
He did recommend, that we consider hiring a forester to come in and help thin some trees to protect the overall health of the plot. So the Conservation Commission is making some phone calls to look for a forester and, maybe requesting funding to have that done. See how that all goes. There's also, as we develop the management plan, a thought came across that until we really understand the actual usage of the land, it's hard to develop a management plan. And so we thought about potentially purchasing some game cameras, like $25 cheapos, so that we can actually get an indication of how many people are using it and how they're using it.
makes sense.
Yeah, and one of the people, I thought Sam would.
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, hey, there she is.
I'm back.
Yeah, Sam volunteered, she does this work for Science Center, she volunteered to monitor all the game cams, go out with the SD cards, do the data analysis, so winner. So we have a workshop for the management plan on September 12th, which is a Tuesday at 5 o'clock. We are going to start putting some words to paper on that. And, I think that's what I was supposed to cover. Jim was supposed to be covered.
Oh, that sounds good, good plan.
I like that.
Have they been using it a lot this summer? Or?
Well, I don't know. Mark, you know?
Actually, like we were talking about that last night, climbing's really restricted when it's wet. And being as wet as it's been
Yeah.
in the summer.
It's-
Yeah, just.
So it's hard
and
to
I also
judge.
don't know, they're parking up on Triple I Road, so I don't see them as much.
Yeah.
We received
Um,
a letter
Yeah.
from. You remember who it was from? They were talking about, some climbing group was talking about
The
purchasing a
central-
feature
yeah.
property.
Central Climbing Association or something like that.
That's the parcel I talked to you about, that local gentleman owns it.
Yeah, I thought it was, and I wasn't sure, but
Yeah.
they definitely sent a letter saying they're looking into purchasing them. But they're trying
And
to,
we discussed that, we're not, the Woodstock Conservation Commission is officially not encouraging this action. But there's nothing we could do. It's a private exchange of funding
Right.
and
It's also
development, so.
important.
And it would be.
The properties are
Exactly.
important.
They
Oh, it
did
is.
want to talk about the other money issue, putting in kiosks. So, we discussed this previously for the Merriam Woods to have a kiosk that really talks about how the land came to be, who the Merriams were, what they want for the future. I don't think that that's something I would put in the climbing association's hands. We talked about potentially putting a kiosk up down at the western side where people are still accessing it down by the gate.
By the gate.
Yeah. So we're putting together a cost for that and design and whatever. So Jim's working on the budget.
perfect.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, you're gonna come in.
That's possibly another one, because they have, there'll be a trail. We're assuming they would go from the parking lot
Yeah.
down into the Merriam Wood property. And maybe put a second kiosk there, because not everybody's gonna stop or go around and look at the initial one at
Correct.
the gate, so we're probably gonna times two. on that
That's if
kiosk.
they make that purchase, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
that's.
So they
think
would
we
come
might
the other
phase
side.
the kiosk, I think we were talking about that, maybe, I don't really know.
Mm.
That we'll probably have a discussion about that on the go. But, it's, we're finally moving forward with some solid ideas about how to deal with this, and I think it's gonna be a good proposal to the select board for.
both parties.
We're not talking about something huge, I think, if I remember correctly, the property goes not very far in before it goes pretty much straight up, so it's not like they're gonna be able to handle. But once it's full, they're gonna do the same thing as they've been doing on a long time on the side of the road, so that's gonna have to be done to fruition.
But we are gonna request that they don't say it's like parking specifically for Merriam Woods or Russell Craig, because. That's kind of odd. They can say it's their parking lot to access climbing in the White Mountain National Forest if they want. I don't know. It's just awkward.
I think there was a discussion of possibly charging, was that a?
That's, I guess, in other places, I think Jason brought that up. That these climbing associations have their parking lots and it's a pay for you.
I think they already do down at, the Rubbly Rock Climbing.
Yeah,
Look at my daughter climbs down there, and I think it was like $3 a pop.
yeah, and that's theirs big, right? So. But, spend the money makes, up to further costs, but.
Sounds good.
Interesting.
Kristen, are we trying to get the cost for the forester in for this year's budget?
It'd be not a bad idea,
Because if we don't,
yeah,
then it's gonna be a year
I know.
from March before we get it approved.
yeah.
Well,
So-
might as well hit it hard.
I called my dad and asked him the name of his forester and about how much. I was just trying to get a rough idea, because if it's like $150,000, no freaking way. But,
No.
I'll go back to school and get my degree.
What about Dave Thompson? Does he still do that?
I think Dave,
I was gonna recommend that too.
Yeah, because that was a month ago, we talked about that. So, yes, but that is a cost that we're trying to put in there, at least for his initial
Assessment.
assessment, and then he'd have to give us an estimate for any cutting, or we'd have to do that separately, so. At least we can get-
Cutting them down. is the
There's gonna be a-
expensive part. Cutting them down is the expensive part.
well, so much.
So for him to identify what he
Getting
thinks
out.
is the
Some of the
best.
standing debt can be left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you read over that,
I'll do it, John.
Okay.
Do you care? Hey, listen, John, do you care bid or auction? Which way I go? Okay.
Okay.
All right, Took 5 minutes too long, that's all.
That's okay. All right, thank you.
Hey,
Yeah.
Kristen, just real, oh, sorry, real
Go for
quick.
it.
Do you guys, have we given you guys the setup so that you can record your meetings now that you're, becoming more frequent, and so that the rest of the community or residents can kind of hear what's going on and what you guys are working on?
Nope.
Would you like that?
Is that
Last
something you guys are interested in doing?
I think it's a good idea.
There's 3 of us here. Oh, no.
There was some, they weren't united on that yet. But maybe
Okay.
now.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
maybe
I
if
think
next
that's-
meeting you can discuss it.
It's gonna be an ongoing process.
It
yeah.
is,
I mean, we don't
yeah,
have
this
to do it tomorrow. We can-
No, this is gonna all through the way, I mean, this is a long
So-
process.
You guys can decide and then we can show you, Kathy can show you how to post those.
Yeah. Oh, we also talked about getting set up with an email account.
I actually am already on top of
Jason
that.
was gonna talk to
Yeah,
you
we talked
it.
about that.
Okay.
I've already submitted a request for you.
Thank you.
And then if whoever wants to learn how to take over their web page.
Well, whoever does this email and stuff for us takes time.
That's
they
for
did-
retired people, Jim.
I did,
No, we have people, but.
I did submit that, gosh, whatever, last time we talked, right? Mark, I had already submitted it and that was,
It's another topic.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay,
Everybody's starving for help is the problem too.
Anything else?
Great job, everyone.
Yeah,
Good
that's
job
awesome.
making progress forward,
You know, it was ignored for so many years, it's like, great. Okay, the fire department, sale of the 48 Mack fire truck, I think. We
John?
just have to approve the sale and how it will be sold, and if people think we should sell it, I guess is the question, so.
Yeah, it's a 1948 Mack truck that used to sit down in the lower house that they used to use to give rides when they did the cookout at the common. It's now in a storage shed down at the highway garage. John would like permission to sell it, either by however you choose, but by bid or auction. I told him to check out the JSJ or J.
I think we should do the GSFJ because they did so well with all the other properties that we did, it was.
And they do the advertising and you might draw.
They do all the advertising for free.
But it's up to you, he just needs permission to sell. That money would go back into the general fund of sale of town property to offset your tax rate.
Okay.
I think it's definitely worth talking with JSJ.
Oh, yeah.
JS.
Yeah, they're really interested in that type of stuff, and it might be that they could just advertise it and have people come here,
Oh, it's-
you know, yeah, probably.
No, we shouldn't have to
No,
haul it somewhere.
no,
Well, our other equipment will go down there, like, I think that's the plan for the old highway trucks and cruisers are gonna
Right.
take them.
so.
They do all the state auctions,
Auctions
state
and stuff.
vehicles.
All right. So make a motion to give John, the fire department permission to sell the 1948 Mack fire truck through auction if possible. Just
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay,
If that's not an option, we'll go to sale bid. correct?
Yeah.
Yep,
accept donations for the Woodstock Firefighter Fund. They made $7,491 on the Lodge Fest. That was great. I heard it was awesome. Really good done. A motion to accept that money.
Yeah.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Gil and Cheryl.
Okay, sales from the t-shirts of $360. I'll make a motion for the, accept that and for the fire department. Motion second.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approve a check request for the Ed Wiggett's funeral for Melissa Saborn. And the, it doesn't say how much it is.
$110.
Oh, you missed that, huh?
Same,
For
so,
$110. Okay. Second on the motion,
Yeah, so second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and now they have, they make a deposit on the wreath that the fire department does in the, over Christmas. Of $2,580. Got a motion for that, can I have a second on that?
I'll make that
Second.
motion.
All in favor?
Alright,
Aye.
The last one for them is from Melissa Stadion, for the Launch the Best fundraiser supplies for $1,690.51.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now the FEMA one, is this just informational?
Yeah, it's just the final determination and
They changing the flood maps.
they gave us a list of revised panel with addresses on it.
Okay. I
They call
looked at it a lot.
Lomas,
Have they made it better?
Depends on who you are.
I don't know, probably Chris, did you see did I send this to you? For the floodplain, is this,
You sent me, you forwarded something, I don't know. if it was-
Because the last one's had Courtney Road in it.
Oh, I don't know, but
So-
not my house,
What?
but not my house.
Oh, that was good. Now the new ones had your house, right? And not our house.
Right, so
I think this is you on here, I think.
I should be,
I think you're one of the changes.
yeah, no, I definitely should be. But the, and I should have been decades ago, but that's okay. 32.
I don't know, correct? I don't know what this means, so.
Oh, hold on, these are. No, those are LONCs, so that's different, that's the people who have, they survey themselves out.
Okay, so what does it mean? Same thing?
Yeah, superseded. They've not been collected because they're being superseded by the other guys. So no, these people just lost their. They lost their, variances. Which means what? Which means if they're in a floodplain, they're in a floodplain. They're in a flood. So, I'm happy to look through all that.
I thought I did, if not, I will send this to
You
you
know
just to make
Margaret,
sure.
Margaret from the planning board at all? 'Cause
So-
she's been working on trying to get points so that we can lower the flood insurance rates.
Thank you.
So,
So, I talked with her at the town meeting.
Yeah.
Briefly afterwards. And I said, you know, if I email, reach out, we should discuss this, because I understand all this stuff, like I get it. And, I haven't heard back, but.
I'll talk to her, because you would probably make a good team on this.
And we need to
On our
strategy,
floodplain.
people who are being mapped in to the floodplain, if they have a mortgage, in theory, by law, their mortgage company should be contacting them about flood insurance. If they get mapped in and they do not have a mortgage, I feel they should be notified.
Sure,
Oh, we did have this conversation.
Yes, and that would be
Goodness.
something that the town would have to do. So I think, in my opinion, it makes sense for impacted landowners in any case to be notified by mail as a courtesy.
I think that.
Do you think the floodplain committee could put together a mailing? We could mail it. We can't put anything in with our property tax bills. It's illegal to stop, but we could do a mailing to everybody. If
There's
somebody
not
could
that
help
many,
me
So, yeah.
with the verbiage and where it needs to go.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's
I'm
consent.
sorry, Kristen. I just wouldn't know what to.
Yeah, no,
Or
coming
how
up with a list of addresses, if it's not in what you gave me for people who are now mapped in. That will be a little tricky because we have to like look at the changes on the maps compared to, and same with people who are being mapped out. I think they need to be notified too. So I think we just have to go with the changes and make sure we get all the parcels. So. It's just a picking and.
Yeah.
Everything's electronic, I mean, it's not impossible, it's just.
Right.
Right.
Takes
PSUA,
time, yeah.
yeah. So, and then I wouldn't hurt, I think these are being rolled out in February, correct?
What's that? I'm sorry.
The new maps are being rolled out officially in February.
February. I don't think it might not say it in the phone.
be honest.
Yeah, February 8th,
No,
2024.
it's from FEMA.
We like that.
So I think it would be a good idea to, have people, give them an option, like to have a workshop thing or whatever, me and Margaret, whoever wants to be there, to talk about what this might mean.
Well, that'd be
have
wonderful.
Copies of the maps, stuff like that, because if we lose our CRS rating, it's just stinks, like it's, everyone's flood insurance goes up and.
Right.
It'll be fun.
In this ways to make it low,
Yes,
if
exactly.
you meet certain
Right.
criteria.
Yep.
you know,
Well, just
so.
let it snow what you need to make all that happen.
Yeah.
But it's quite a bit. The first couple
That's
things are
wonderful.
pretty easy, it seems like, but then after that, it gets pretty dicey.
Yeah, the community rating system isn't, I mean, it's not impossible. A lot of it though is really like not applicable to Woodstock for reasons, do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, we can figure it out.
Sure.
But I think, showing that you are putting forth all this information, and getting people to sign up for flood insurance and everything is a big part of the CRS.
Public education.
They want people to be protected, so.
Could you put on your only word agenda, on any notes to ask Margaret to get in touch with Kristen? In reference to this? Thank you.
I see my.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
Or maybe
yeah,
there's
the
a
email
joint
address
meeting,
is just first name dot last name at Gmail, so you can forward that to
and I
me.
can give it to you.
in any old or new.
You're on one of
business-
my regular emails. You just pop up now.
Any old or new business from us, I just had the lead thing that Mike and I went through the other day with DES and they expect a full report and inventory by this Friday, which they're not going to get. From most, any town, 13 towns out of all of them have done it so far, so
Lead from what?
in the water system, whether it's in a hookup from the main to the house or from in the main lines all over Europe. Part of it's gonna be covered by the study we haven't done, but all the lines into the houses are all gonna have to be cataloged and mapped and looked at. You'll have some that won't have to be like Deer Park and Downline, but all the other older ones. We're gonna have to go in individually and make cards for each one. And do all that. It's gonna be,
Are we testing or do they get?
we can do it. We can do it pretty much. There's gonna be a
Well, I
combination
mean,
of two.
as far as the actual testing of the water for lead.
I think we're gonna do it pretty much.
Does that come out of the town budget or out of the individual?
But it's not just, it's the pieces that connect.
Right, it can be, even if it's solder joints.
Right,
they have to
they
be
have to
identified.
determine what. you
We
need.
may actually have to dig up a few,
Mhm.
few main lines just to check it out, so.
I mean, some of it is, I believe there's a certain year where they had to stop using.
There is
it,
some
so
funding, there's
That
funding,
was a long time ago, they had to go
You
from.
know,
there
anything
is
to-
funding for it, but we're not far enough along to know how much funding we would need. I think we can get the money to do it,
Oh, absolutely.
so I
We have to have it done by 2024, so.
I mean-
50-50 lead 10 to 95.5 percentages.
and if you
The
don't,
solid joint
yeah,
itself. So that's how that was, that's how. And you're supposed to stop using 50-50, although they still make it. But I think you're supposed to use 50-50 on drain type connections, not water supply. Type connections is the way that works.
And then I think the property owners that have it will have so long to fix it.
Yeah. Anything over, under 20-25 years old is fine.
Right.
You don't have to worry about, but then. I've got the exact dates written down when we have to worry and not worry, so. We'll have to go through that and, we may have to hire somebody part-time to help us a little bit.
Mike and Scott just sat through a whole big thing. One of the things on it.
Everybody's staring at you. And some people we had heard a little bit about it, but some of these towns had heard nothing about it. And everything's supposed to be in on Friday. So it was just kind of
No, we
You know,
do, but we don't have a lot of old records either. They were never kept.
a
so-
lot of
Doesn't
old
Lincoln still have
records
the old-
are buried somewhere.
Doesn't Lincoln still have the old meters?
I'm not sure.
No, I think they had replaced those.
Have they replaced it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I talked to,
I knew they were gonna have to, it was gonna cost them a lot of money,
Mhm.
$1.5 million or something, they would pay for something per hour and take them all over.
no, but, that's what's coming up and just one more aggravation.
Along with our
State.
13 grants we got going.
Yeah, we have like a lot of grants and works. Fortunately, we have someone at the state that's kind of helping us keep organized. We keep on signing up for more of them, and we're getting them, but it's still frustrating. It's like, poor Judy, She takes the heat from me sometimes. Scott said he got me this, but anyway, it's going well as far as taking advantage, I think, of it. So,
Right now we're working on cyber.
all right, any, comments from the public?
Back to go to road repair,
Yep,
are they just improving the road, paving it? Specifically, just, I don't know what's going on.
well, they're doing it, because that's the main road to the ice castle.
Right,
So what happens now is it just gets it's so busy, it gets so beat up and crappy. And it really slows down the traffic going in there too. So they'd like to improve the road to make it better for their customers, really.
water, paving,
Yep,
I think
Okay,
it's
yeah, they're paying
culverts.
yeah,
I
and they're
think
paying all
are
thing,
really-
and they're doing it totally town specs, which we had our engineer, town engineer come up with this, approve the specs.
He
We didn't
reviewed
come up
them.
with them, but he approved them, so
is that their road or our?
it's a
road?
class 5.
Class
It's our
Class
road.
five.
It is a class 5 road.
But they've agreed to pay for all the work. We'll let them.
I think there's not many unpaved class 5 roads in town. I don't think it's very few.
I don't know that they're,
Yeah, I really,
Couple.
maybe, yeah, Fairfield,
Yeah.
Potato Hill, is that all?
yeah, that's,
Is that fully paid?
I think they're got paid, then we have to go up past, Arlene Levy's.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
so. But it'll be a town asset. I mean, it's kind of a no,
Sure,
it's good. But,
take anything free, if it's done right.
there's nothing, there's always, exactly, Bill, I agree. Yeah, we're somewhat morally obligated just to split the cost, you like to get that point. So, no, we're not legally, but anyway. But any more comments, guys? Anybody on the internet?
Daryl, anything?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, a motion to adjourn,
Yeah, I'll second that.
What time?
all in favor?
5:42?
I
Thank you, everyone.
Now that you're adjourned, just
You'd at least let them breathe.
Yeah. Oh, no, go for it.
Bushwhack, I'm out with Fido all the time, just wandering. And twice now, I have encountered,